Hello and welcome back to this series on data transformation on Power BI desktop. Let's see how to transform data on Power BI desktop because that's the focus. In the previous video, we have looked at how to import data. I've introduced you to Power BI desktop interface, but now we want to learn data transformation. So to perform data transformation, you come to the under the home tab or the home menu, come towards queries section. We have the transform and refresh. So I want to transform. You hit either you hit just click on the button, this very button with the pencil icon, or you click on this down arrow and select transform data. So either ways, it brings you into Power Query. Now, this particular window that popped up is the Power Query window. This is the Power Query window. All right. When you come back to the task bar, you notice that the Power BI desktop window will still be open. I'm trying to show you the Power BI desktop window. I guess my computer is loading because it's supposed to show me the two windows that are active now. Let me see if I can get that show. Let's get to the desktop and refresh my computer, then come back to Power BI. Great. So here is Power Query. You can see the two pop-up windows. This is Power Query and this is Power BI Desktop, right? Power BI Desktop, it's its own interface, which is different from Power Query. This is Power Query. So Power Query is where our data transformation is being done. When you get your data into Power BI Desktop and you want to perform some transformations, some cleaning process, it brings you into Power Query. And where you want to see your visualization and all after your cleaning has been done is on Power BI Desktop. Please, I want you to know the clear difference between these two things. So whenever you go to transform data to get into Power Query, a new window is opened, and this is the window. The other window is Power BI Desktop. Please take note of these two windows. And as soon as you're done with the cleaning, when you click close and apply, Power BI Desktop will close and all the changes you've done to your data set will be loaded into Power BI Desktop. So the first thing we want to do, remember in the previous video, I demonstrated how to connect data sets from Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. And that is the reason why we are having double copies of this data. The first step I would like to take is to delete the second data source and leave just the first one, which is from Microsoft Excel. So I'm coming back to Power Query. Now in Power Query, you would see the data listed here. I want to take out the ones with 2 in the bracket. That is the second source I got in. Right click on each of them, click on delete, and then it asks you, do you want to delete from the model? Yes, I want to delete 2018 2 in bracket. Then I'll delete the second data, delete. I want to delete from the model, yes. Delete the third data, the one for 2022, delete. Do I want to delete from the model? Yes. I'm going to delete the next one, delete, and I'll delete the last data that was gotten in here, delete. Okay, so with this, we've deleted all of those. Now, let's talk about transforming our data. As soon as you bring in your data set into Power BI, remember that while we're bringing the data set in, we found some errors in 2018 and 2019, but we didn't do anything to the errors because it wasn't my intention to talk about data cleaning in that video. So here is where I want to talk about data cleaning. When you have your data set imported, the first thing you need to do is inspect the data set. So I want to inspect this data, these tables one after the other. I'll select the first table, 2018. You'll find the preview right here on the screen. And you would have to go through each column one by one, right? One by one. So the first column is called hotel. So what are you checking out for in each of the columns? We'll talk more about this during the live session. So I'll just briefly mention it here. You want to check the data type. Right now, it is what? ABC. ABC stands for text. To change the data type for each of the columns, one way to do that is to come over here and click on that ABC here, if it was ABC, or 1, 2, 3 if it's set as numbers. When you click on the ABC, it will give you a drop-down list of all the different data types that are recognized by Power BI. Power BI recognizes the decimal number, fixed decimal number, whole number, percentage, date, time, date, time, time zone, duration, text, true or false, binary, and even using some local. Yeah. So these are the different data types that Power BI understands. So right now, this hotel column is set as text, and that is why you have it as ABC. And under this column, we have 100% valid, no error, no empty. So it means all the names provided under the hotel column are all valid. Now let's explore to see how many unique hotel we have under this 2018 data set. Now, to explore, that means it simply means to filter. You can filter by clicking on this little arrow here. This little drop down arrow. Click on it. It gives you this particular filtering option pop up. Now, we can only see resorts hotel. Okay, but there is a caution message here that says list may be incomplete. To see all the possible lists, click on load more. If there are more lists, it will load more and show us. In fact, right now we have just two hotels under this year 2018, the City Hotel and Resort Hotel. Just these two. Okay, so this is the filter, and this is how to check different unique or distinct categories that are present under each column. Whenever you're doing your investigation or you're doing inspection, this is what you need to do for each column that are present in your data set. Now this looks good, nothing looks strange here. I click on OK, and the column is fine, no empty, no error. Now we'll move on to the is cancelled column. Again, 100 valid data, no error, no empty. And it's set as numeric 1, 2, 3, which is actually accurate because all of these are numeric. If you want to see the different is cancelled category that we have, you click on the 1, 2, 3 to check. And 1, 2, 3 is to change the data type. You click on the filter, this button to check. So I can see only one here. Let's load more to see if there are more categories for is cancelled. Okay, we have just 0 and 1. I guess 0 means not cancelled, but 1 means yes, it is cancelled. So that's fine. So there are just two categories here. Though this is set as numeric, but this is not actually a numeric data because it is more of categorical than numeric, though it's presented as numbers. You can actually, of course, you will see how to do a kind of data feature engineering to engineer a new feature that can give a more description into the is cancelled column. Then we have the lead time. Okay, it's also set as number, which is fine. 100% valid, no error, no empty. Let's filter to see how many different lead times we have there. We load more. So we have various lead times ranging from 0 to what's the last lead time. Let me scroll to the end. 737. So these are the lead times, and I believe we have gone through the dictionary to understand what lead time represents in the dictionary. Okay, and then let's move on to the next one, and this looks good. The next one is the arrival date year. Arrival date year is also a numeric data, and it has different year: 100% valid, 0% error, 0% empty, which means no error, no empty. When you scroll to see the different years, I'm supposed to see just 2018 because this is 2018 data. This is what I expected. But if I had seen any other year, it means the data is not accurate, but because we are considering just the year 2018, this is fine. And then we move on to the next column, which is arrival date month. Here we have this set as text, and it's 100% valid, no error, no empty, which is absolutely fine. Let's see the different unique or distinct months that are present under this column. We have August, December, July, November, October, September. Okay, cool. So everything looks good. No month is spelled wrongly, and capitalizations are used properly. The next column is called the arrival date week number, which is also set as numeric data. And we all have 100% valid, no error, no empty. You can also do this to see if all the records, the entries under the arrival date week number is seem to be valid. If you have a negative number, then there should be a problem. But right now, everything looks good. Great, there are 53 weeks from 27 to 53 weeks. Awesome. Then you move on to the next one that talks about the arrival day, date, day of month, which is presented here. Stay in, weekend, night. We have adults, we have children. I think this should be number of adults and number of children. Everything looks good. We have babies, looks good. Meal looks good. We have country colon, looks good, everything looks fine. We have market segment colon. Well, you can't just conclude if they look good or they look fine. Given that the valid and the error, the value is 100%, error and empty are 0% each, doesn't necessarily mean that the colon is perfect, especially when it's a text or a categorical colon that is presented in text. You are expected to do this, always load more to see. As you can see, we have some undefined terms here, which doesn't really make sense. This tells us that there are some, there are some meal that are not captured, that are not defined. Okay, so for us to know better if this is what is expected, you can check it from the data dictionary. Let's look at the meal status. I think we have the data dictionary opened here. When you go to the meal colon, let's see the meal colon, meal. This is the lead time that we spoke about, number of days that elapsed between the entry date of the booking um, into the PMS and the arrival date. Okay, this is meal. So the meal has different categories. Oh, okay, of course. Undefined is present. Undefined is no meal package. Great. So that means it's part of the entry that we are expected to see, and that makes sense. Great. So now that makes sense. The country colon also, let's load this. Now this country is given by country code, and one cannot easily tell which country it is just by merely looking at the code. It means there's some work we have to do to go get a way to present these country codes in the country names. All right. And distributed or distribution underscore channel, this shows us the different channel of distribution. And when you load more to see, we have actually how many distribution channel. We have about 5 with one undefined, that together are the 5. So that is that about that. This is what will help you to do a kind of data inspection before cleaning. Now, see this agent column. Good. The agent column has some missing values with some numbers in between. When you load more, you would wait to see what's so these are the different agents, I think ID or number, and we saw a null value. This is null. To see how many of these guys are null, I can actually filter to see which of them are null. I uncheck all the boxes and then scroll back to the top and finally check the null to see corresponding values for the null. Let's filter. Okay, the null is quite many, right? How many of them? Okay, 32 columns have empty null values, and there are some corresponding values towards the left of the table from the null. Okay, well, that's fine. we would uh, we will talk about how to handle this one. Then the company also has some null value. Okay, I see. So let's take out the filter. I click on this filtered rows out, so that will take out the filter that we've done, and then so we can go ahead and inspect our data set and begin to perform your cleaning. So this is how to inspect your data sets. We will continue again in the next video where we'll talk more about some data transformation process and some more inspections to be done when handling data. Thank you very much and see you again in the next one. Bye bye for now.